Welcome to the R.E.A.L Podcast, where hosts Shane Kilby and Duane Murphy dive deep into the world of real estate agent life. From overcoming hurdles to celebrating success, join us as we explore the journeys of industry veterans and rookies alike. Get ready for bi-weekly episodes packed with advice, feedback, and mentorship from the best in the business.
All right, guys. Today we are shooting another episode of R.E.A.L Podcast, Real Estate Agent Life, with none other than Alec and Shannan Cheplak. Guys, welcome. How are you guys doing today?
We're really good. Happy to be here.
Yeah, super happy to be. Yeah, it's Monday. It's about to be the new year. I'm stoked. Let's go.
I'm telling you, it's like, what day of the week is it? What day of the week is it? So you guys want to just kind of, give us a little bit of backstory, to the listeners and the viewers out there. Just kind of walk us through how you guys got to this part of the real estate, real estate world. What part of the real estate world you guys play a part in today?
Yeah. So if where we're at now, it's wild to say where we're at, but we've had the opportunity the past couple of years to coach top team leaders, agents, brokers, even now people in the mortgage space, even a couple real estate attorneys now.
Real estate attorneys as well. Yeah, everybody.
High operating, high performer business leaders who are married couples and parents who decided, hey, my fitness is a priority and I am worth it. And so is my family and my legacy beyond just, someone said, generational wealth is what you all pursue, but generational health is what you all should pursue. One of our top clients, Jamie with Girls with Grit, and it really stuck with us. It's been cool because I've seen it show up in my family's life, my father's sobriety journey, my sobriety journey, my son having a sober father, and the business my wife and I have together. But it's really all rooted in that generational health thing and passing on a better life for a whole human being rather than just pursuing a next transaction or the next recruit. So it's been really cool.
I mean, so Alec and I have been doing this for a long time outside of the real estate space. And it was just something that his father thought was necessary to bring directly into this space because it was needed. People were, he saw the direct correlation with getting your health and fitness and everything in line, and also then doing better in your business because of the regiment, because of feeling healthier and all of those things. So we were like, yeah, let's just bring it directly to these team leaders, brokers and agents. And it's been pretty cool.
Yeah. And so that's where we're at now. And you can be, oh, it must be nice. Let's rewind. It is nice now. It wasn't always so sweet. A little bit of a rewind right before this company started. Shannan and I were already combined in our business, training mostly in person, heavily on the competitor side. We had a pretty epic contest season, like 2 or 3 back to back. And we were just like winning every contest in Vegas on every NPC News Online interview. If you don't know, that means you won the whole show. You won the overall. We're having a good level of success after many years, 20 years combined experience in the real estate space. And when we reached our pinnacle, I don't know if anyone watching this knows my dad. You probably do. And if you do, he's very much rooted in competency. And you partner with experts and you bring forward experts, and then kind of sort of, he says, get out of the way of the talent. And so he allowed us to demonstrate our talent prior to even making a recommendation that we bring this forward. And once we were performing at the highest level, he calls me. It's a really funny story. Some people know this, some people don't. We're deadline dancers with the holidays, dude. I don't know about you, but it's like a joke. Like, all right, man, it's December 23rd. We should start thinking about Christmas shopping. Let's just think about it today.
Yeah.
It's probably time to start thinking about it. Well, it's December 24th, 2022. I get a phone call from my dad. If you know my dad, he's not a small talker. He don't call you just be like, hey, bud, how you doing? Like he calls you with an objective.
Right.
So he calls me. I'm like, what's up, dude? And he's like, I got an idea. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, we're going to bring a wellness company to the real estate space. It was a random call, random idea he had. I said, okay, I'm ready. Let's go. January 1st, like a week later, let's do it. He's like, oh, yeah, no, we're not going to move fast. We're going to move correct. So he's like, we're going to do it, but we're going to pump the brakes, right? Since she's all like excited, I'm excited.
I'm ready to go.
It goes on, we're ready. I'm like, our product's ready right now. Like,
yeah.
We're already changing lives, but there's a lot on the back end. And there's a way to do it correct, right? Don't just move fast, move correct. I've learned that from my dad. And so over the next, 3, 4, 5 months, hey dad, you ready? Like stuff like she's all hitting me like, she's all right, are we doing this or what? Then he ends up having his wedding with Britt. I love Britt and John. They invite us out to the wedding in Hawaii, and we had just won a bunch of shows with our clients. So we had a lot of new people coming in to sign up, right? And so I purposely scheduled an onboarding call with someone who wanted to purchase coaching, and I scheduled it at 4 a.m. our time in Hawaii because me, my dad, and Shannon were going to be driving 40 minutes to the gym to go work out at 4 a.m. on Hawaii vacation, if you want to know what our lifestyle's like. And I scheduled it so I could do the phone call in the car ride in front of my dad. And I put it on speaker. And it was a guy I never met in my life, but he'd been following us for a while. And he's like, let's do this. And he signed up with us and made a commitment and was ready to go. And we hung up and my dad said, oh, all right, we're ready to launch. I don't think he fully understood like what processes or level we were playing at with not only just
because what does he say? Done is better than perfect. I'm pretty sure.
The cool part is like, we had our journey, decade plus each, but then that happened and he said, okay, we're ready. So the next weekend he said, and I'll wrap it up here so I don't take too much time on one topic, but he said, I'm hosting my inner circle mastermind at my house. It's like his top 40 clients that he coaches. He says it's like 8 hours, whatever. And then you're going to speak for 30 minutes at the end. And he said, I don't know what you're going to say. He said, I trust you. Don't fuck it up. And and so I just went up there, man. And it was my first. You guys have seen us speak on stage now for big crowds, but he wanted to like litmus test it with a smaller group first and see what the market had to say about us, see if his community would, accept us and appreciate us. And I spoke for 30 minutes. We made people laugh. We made people cry. We made people, ask questions and make decisions in their health and fitness. My dad's just standing with his arms crossed in the background, like, oh crap. Okay. It was like a proud father-son moment. Right. And that was the day we launched this company 20 months ago now. And we were like, all right, guys, we got to go. Shannon's parents are in town. We got to take them to the airport. They were lining up at the door, wouldn't let us leave. They're like, oh, let's do this. Like, I'm like, slow down. We don't have contracts, nothing. So started getting name, number, email. A few days later, we launched. And since then, oh man, it's been a beautiful, beautiful thing. We've been able to fully go all in on our career in Cheplak Live Wellness. We run a whole coaching company all over North America together, husband and wife. I was able to retire from in-person training after a decade of 12 to 16 hour days back to back to back training clients on gym floors in my backyard during COVID at corporate gyms. And it's completely transformed my family's life. One, but two, we've been making an impact in the real estate industry. People getting sober, people reversing, basically like treating diabetes. Like it's not a cure, but getting from 11A1C to 5A1C, people losing weight, Janae Daniels lost 90 pounds. Mm-hmm. I mean, people are transforming their lives, and it's a really beautiful, special thing that all just kind of came together at the right moment when we were ready. And when my dad decided it was time to partner up. So,
yeah, I know I can speak for Shane as well. We've been, both of us have been following you since you had that living room talk with your dad, and then, and then started to speak on the stages. We ran into you at some Maverick events, and then been social stalking you and watching the journey, and it, to say that you're impacting lives is almost not giving it enough credit. I mean, to see the transformation, and it's right, and you can go into it way more than I can, but to see the transformation on the people that you've worked with, and even some of the ones that aren't even paying you, that you're just giving free advice to. I mean, you're always giving value, right? Anybody can pick up a piece of value just by following the two of you, like, or subscribing to your emails or whatever the heck it may be, right? Your text messages. Like there's value all the way through there. But to say that you're just impacting some lives or changing some lives, I mean, almost is selling it short. I mean, I would almost go as far as with some of the individuals that you have helped. I think you're almost like, it's almost a generational thing. I think that's a family tree thing, because like the lack of fitness and health, potentially in their family lineage stops now with them, which should, right, more than likely, right, is going to get passed down to their kids, right, because they're going to see what healthy looks like. They're going to know what healthy feels like, and that's something that potentially gets carried through generationally. And you're not just changing someone's life currently in their business and their relationship and all that other stuff through health. You potentially are even changing that next generation because they're seeing it, right? They're watching it.
The
100%.
habits, good or bad.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that like you're the leader. Not only are you the leader of your team, which they see it too, which we've also started doing coaching sessions with teams, like whole teams once a month, because not necessarily everybody is ready to commit to that. But if we just sprinkle that seed every month and we do coaching sessions with them, then this habits start to form. But not only are you the leader of your team, but your family, your kids watch your spouse watches everything you do. Even if they're not ready, it's like infectious. As you start to do it, once you're really committed to it, and the way that you speak about it, that's the one thing. Like, oh man, I got to go to the gym, as opposed to I'm going to the gym, I'm going to start my day off right. If you speak that into your family, your spouse, the people around you, they see how happy you are, they see the changes that you're making. Some people, their health is getting better, all of those things. And then they're more likely to do it, as opposed to you saying, you know what, you've got to get in shape. Do it, be the example of it. Other people, we've seen it for years. I've seen it, people around me for years that would never even think about stepping foot in the gym, but they see how much you love it and how much better you are, as not necessarily like just the way your body looks, but how you feel as a human being. You're happier, like say, because it helps depression this time of year. Go to the gym. We know that firsthand. When we're having those difficult days with everything we have going on with our family, the first thing we do when we have time is we go to the gym that day. Automatically afterwards, he's like, I feel a lot better. I said, I know, right? So it's just leading by example for your family and the people around you. It speaks more volumes than saying you're going to do it. You actually have to do it.
Yeah, and I've been taking mental notes, and I want to address a few things that came up. I'll start with the funny one, the joke. He said, "You've been social stalking us." You can't escape us on
That's
social.
us. We're omnipresent.
You open the news feed, and it's the first thing you see 15
There's
times a day.
Cheplak somewhere.
You
in there.
don't need to stalk us. It might feel like it's the other way around. Actually, that's one part. Second part is what you were saying about generational. My 8-year-old son has a sober dad. I didn't have that at 8 years old. Period. And my dad's my best friend now. We're in business together. It's a childhood dream, but it is very much so generational. And you might not notice it until 10, 20, 30 years from now when you're looking back like, whoa, my kid had a completely different childhood than me. I mean, that's big, dude. I know it. And I've seen it through the generations. And then with her, I got to give credit to Shannan for really going above and beyond these past couple months with everything that's gone on, 73 visits to the ICU with my sister, back and forth from my dad's or whatever. We've been rallying as a family. And I got to give credit to Shannan for really stepping up to the plate. And the reason I go there is because those days where I rested and didn't lift weights because maybe it was high stress or lower sleep or, she had her 27th heart surgery, whatever it was, those days I felt noticeably worse than like the days where it felt like the world's on your shoulders. And then you go do your workout and you walk out of there and you feel like you can bear the burden. Like you can carry the load. And it's like literally that big of a deal. Those days you exercise, your stress tolerance is through the roof. Like
it's like you guys are adding life expectation, the life existence, naturally speaking, because what's the saying? I mean, you spend all your life building your wealth, but you'll cash it all in, at the last moment, or those last dying days to get that health back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's and Duane, this too. It's like going all the way back to agents. Like when agents start, it's like they're so far behind, with class and just getting traction, the last thing that they ask for is systems, processes, structure, accountability. Like, it's like, I don't have time for that. I'll do that as soon as I get some business. Right now, I've got to go make some money. And it's like, that's where we all get caught in that trap. And we turn around and a year's passed, 2 years have passed. We used to go to the gym. We used to eat, healthier. And now everything's convenient. And then we get in this mindset that whole foods and clean foods and green foods are too costly, right? No one looks 20 years down the road at the medical cost, right? So you guys are making a huge impact. Like, I've seen Shannan, from a distance, having a conversation with someone at a Maverick and just be bawling. And I knew exactly I knew that she was having that conversation with another individual that needed that. I hate to say it. I mean, I guess it's a intervention, an intervention, because we get so addicted to, and I look at this like everybody has an addiction. Not one human being on this earth isn't addicted to something, right? It's success, it's work, it's income, it's, and they're all toxic. They can all be toxic, right? So it's like, it takes an intervention. It takes that moment, whether you just, like you said, like when your family's in need and there's a health crisis, you got to be at your best to be able to go 18 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours, the long drives, the flights back and forth. You guys have to be there, right? And so it's just very impactful to see what you guys are doing. Just like diabetes and just like everything you touch. Perfect example. I've got a 9-year-old that suffers from chronic migraines. And like, we have been to every specialist, every children's hospital, because they're debilitating, right? And then I'm not ever going to put that up there with any terminal illness, but therefore, a while we were going to have all of the sleep studies, having all of the MRIs, everything to make sure like we didn't have anything internally that we were going to have to be focused on. And so we're going down the list, and we found the dyes and the chemicals and stuff and all the processed food like toxic. Now we're trying to do away with gluten and stuff like that. So we're having to check these boxes along the way just to be able to try to give this child a comfortable opportunity, just a day-to-day education. Like her schedule's like yours, like ours is crazy. That's the household we have.
Yeah.
And when she has those migraines, she's like debilitated for 24 to 36 hours. And like, school today is like, we don't allow anything less than the best. Even if we missed 3 days of school, we've got to get back in there and be at the top of the class. And it's like the school that she's in, it's just like they're relentless. Like, you're out 3 days, you got 3 days to catch up. Right. So you're helping so many people make such an impact, even the ones that aren't clients yet. Like Duane said, just like the free stuff that everything that Cheplak name stands for. Like, I mean, you guys are just making a great impact. And the health twist is something, it's just, you don't see it in our business. It's always how to get the next buyer, how to get the next seller, how to get the next agent, how to retain the next agent, right? How to get the next agent to be a superstar. And the health side of things, that's just so powerful. Just so powerful.
You can almost tell a realtor's timeline over the years, right? Of like when they join, and then 5 years down the road, 10 years, 15, 20, by like the amount of pounds that they put on.
Yes.
And just how obese they've gotten, because
our favorite joke is it time to update your realtor photo?
You don't look like that.
And I don't want to sweep the very like heartfelt stuff you were saying, Shane. I appreciate you sharing it and being vulnerable. And look, people there, it's unfortunate. It's a double-edged blade. There's people that have lifestyle related health concerns, and it's very unfortunate. I don't wish it on them, but the good news is we could help them turn it around. But then there's people with like non-lifestyle related health concerns, things they were born with, or things that happen regardless of lifestyle. And I don't wish that on people either. But the reality is, it's like you could have 1,000 problems in life until you have a health problem, and then you only have one problem. And so we've just seen it time and time again. And it's like, things usually have to get worse before they get better. But maybe if we remind people enough, someone might choose to change their path before it has to get to that rock bottom point, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in thinking about it, and I talk about this a lot, like if you have the ability, like you said, people that are born with things, but if you're someone, you have the ability to be healthy, you have the ability to work out, you have the ability to eat, foods that fuel your body correctly and do those things, you better take advantage of that. And like you said, nobody thinks about it until it's to the point where it's a problem. Instead of, I'm all about, I'm in my 40s. I will scream it from the rooftops. I want to feel good in my 70s. A lot of people will be like, well, I don't want to, I'm not going to, I don't even want to be alive in my 70s. No, I want to be alive at 100 and on the cover of a magazine with a dumbbell. Like, this is me at 100 years old, so we don't think about the things that we can do that will make you feel, because we see it firsthand, people around us, whether it's family members or friends or people that we've known, when you don't take care of yourself, how you feel as you age.
And
the
I want
contrast.
to say a funny part. Kids are comedy. So
Kids are comedy.
I have an 8-year-old son who I love dearly. And he said, "How old are you guys?" I said, "Oh, I'm 29." He said, "Oh, really? I thought you were in your 30s." And then he looked at Shannon. He goes, "How old are you, Shannon?" She goes, "I'm 42." And he goes, "What?" He goes, "You guys look the same age." And I was cracking up. 8-year-old, man.
The honesty of an 8-year-old.
Yeah, and so your kids, man, do they look at you as like confident and strong and high energy and youthful and someone they want to emulate and follow? Or do they look at you like you're always sore or tired or complaining or low energy or in pain or overweight? Like, are you always coming home to drink after a long day and stressed out? Like, are you bringing that energy forward that they need and that encouragement and that example? And there was a question I asked on stage one time. I said, do the people around you look at you like, I want to be like them?
Yeah.
And if they do, would you be proud if they became like you?
It's super powerful.
Yeah, I don't think.
Go ahead.
I don't think a lot of people in our position, right, that people like Shane, myself, right, others that lead companies and lead large organizations or large teams, I don't think you always recognize or maybe appreciate how much you truly impact everyone else around you, right? Like, there's no doubt that we impact them financially, right? We impact them career-wise and with opportunity and in so many pieces like that. But then when you factor in health and lifestyles, right, I think most leaders truly don't put enough weight on how much they impact those around. I know when I've gone on my health journeys, and right, people joke sometimes, and even on my firefighter buddies when I was on the fire department, right, they're like, "Oh, we miss Fat Duane." Right, they literally will say it like, "Oh, we miss Fat Duane," right? 'Cause, and I'm like, "What? Like, I'm just as fun as that guy," but but they're just like, "Oh, you're all healthy now and eating right, but it was funny. So even though they joke with that, right, it was all of a sudden, next thing you know, right, there's 2, 3, 4 of them that are like, "Oh, well, what are you eating? Well, what are you doing?" Right, and all of a sudden you see them getting in better shape. I've seen the same thing with my agents and my, in my company, and and all of a sudden, I've gone down that path and gotten a lot healthier and a lot more fit, and all of a sudden, you have a few of them stopping the office like, "Hey, I've been working out every week, every morning with my son now, or I've been doing this, I've been going to the gym, or I've been watching what I eat. Hey, what's this macro thing you talk about?" And I'm like, "I have no idea, but I'll give you a ChatGPT definition of it, because I'm the first one to say I'm not smart enough to explain it, but I can put it into ChatGPT and give you a definition, right?" And it's right, and then all of a sudden that light bulb will go off, like, oh, like, right, like, ooh, they're making an impact on them, right, without chastising them, saying, "Hey, you need to start getting in shape," or, "Hey, you need to take care of your health," right, or
Yeah.
you need to
My dad calls it implied accountability. Implied accountability is when you're around other people who demonstrate what excellence looks like, whether it's in professional or personal life, then it's implied that by being in that room, it's expected of you as well. And so people will either rise up to that. Nick McLean said this, you have two options with the people in your life. There's only two options. Either become like them or stop hanging out with them. That's your only two options. And it happens whether we directly, intentionally acknowledge it or not. And so we don't have freedom of choice of how others influence us. We have freedom of choice of who we choose to surround ourselves with.
That would explain why my circle is pretty small.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as you go through it, your circle definitely gets smaller as you start to make decisions that will improve your life and you create those boundaries. I mean, we've seen it for years. And I've seen the direct correlation with only surrounding myself with like-minded people, or my thing is I do not want to be the smartest person in the room ever. Like if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to get in a new room. Unless you're, holding a mastermind or something like that, that's a little different. That's what people are there for. But if you're the smartest person in the room, get in a new room. And since we've been on that path, like life completely changes, and the things you do change. And I want to share something with you that's kind of funny, but it's also reflecting kind of like the real estate space. We get on calls with people all the time, discovery calls, whatnot, just let me help you right now, regardless of whether you're going to be our client or not. We're going to get out on a call and we're going to tell you, we're going to give you the sauce on how you can change things. A conversation we had, we always say, well, do you drink? And someone was like, well, I'm a realtor. That was the response. I'm in real estate. Of course I drink, like I drink and I have to take pills for anxiety and this and, this, and I've got all these problems. And we were like, that is a powerful response, that because that's like an identity thing. You go to these events and that's what's different about our events is like people aren't going crazy and drinking and all of those things. It's not something that we talk about. You can drink. This is not an AA meeting. We always want to say that's your choice. But, we try to show a way of look how much better you feel and you perform when you don't.
And I'd love to piggyback on that one moment. This is like, we're biased towards sobriety. I'm not going to tell someone you need to stop drinking or I don't like you. That's not what's going to happen. What I'm going to do is stroke curiosity, right? I'm going to open a loop of curiosity any chance I get on the topic because it's changed my family for generations. Okay. I'm in real estate. Of course I drink. And then a couple months before that, it was, I'm taking this prescription drug to help me sleep at night. I'm taking this prescription drug to help me use the restroom. I'm taking this prescription drug to give me more energy. And I said, it sounds like you're taking 3 different prescriptions that it sounds like you're treating the symptoms of alcohol abuse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you were to eliminate the alcohol, you may not need those other 3 drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've seen both sides of it, and I'm like, that is not an accurate statement. Like that does not fix anything. It makes it all worse. It's not. I mean, the heavy drug stuff, like with the alcohol and stuff, and at events, and I frequent a lot of events, and we have some of our own events, and there's some times when we have some drinks and stuff, but that money, I mean, easy or hard, which it always seems to be very difficult to come by. I look at those events as an investment, right? I've been to those events where nobody remembers anything past the first day. I'm like, this isn't a bachelor trip. This isn't a bachelor trip. Like, when you get back to your camp, like what'd you bring back? What 10x value did you bring back? How are you going to make a positive impact on the people around you if you remember nothing but the first day? Like, so those folks out there that like, agent, and I hear it in my own camp, like, oh yeah, I'm an agent. I have to. It is. And I think in what they mean to say is like, I'm lost and I don't know how to cope and it's stressful. And this is not what I thought it was going to be. And I don't see my kids. I don't see my spouse. I don't enjoy my hobbies. And I'm just trying to cope. Mm-hmm. Just trying to cope. And they need someone like you guys to go, no, you can do both and actually feel a lot better and get the time back with your spouse and get the time back with your hobbies and get the time back with your children of what you originally started down this path for. It's crazy when you try to make that impact.
Yeah. And so like, I try to be observational without judgment.
Yeah.
And I allow other people to have self-discovery, and I'll plant the seed. And I tell you what, our events aren't vacations. They're growing experiences. And you see people, and you see it, proof is in the pudding. The people who keep showing up keep getting better from event to event. I mean, in all areas, in personal and professional life. Like, it's so cool when someone walks up to me and like, dude, I saw you speak 6 months ago, shakes my hand. I'm like, oh, hi, I've been following you. I haven't had a sip of alcohol since I watched you speak. I'm like, whoa, like I had no idea, like that stuff makes my day. And it's so cool to see that. Like, maybe not, we don't need to be on a mission for everyone to be sober. Yeah. That's not what it needs to be, but we're going to stay rooted in it. And even if you can influence people to just do a little bit less of the things that are limiting them, like less or none at all, but like, really, can we just use some of that reserved energy and use it somewhere productive? Like, that's the dialogue, is like, it's not like you're bad if you do this. It's like, how much better could you actually be if you removed limitations on your abilities?
Well, I would like to think of it as, so you have these stressors in your life, and, I worked high level corporate for years. I know what stress is, and but we're putting a Band-Aid on it. So I want people to actually start fixing the problem and working on the problem, as opposed to putting a Band-Aid on it. Now, some people are like, hey, they like the taste. Like, I want to sip a whiskey that's, this, $100 shot of whiskey or something like that, because it's something that they're appreciating. And I'm never going to say, take that away from you. What I do say is count the calories in it, so that you can see how much you're actually, I put it in a logical standpoint. When someone's like, I'm going to go out and have a couple drinks, I'm like, well, you're about to have 300 calories less carbs that day. So just count that, so you can think about it in a logical standpoint. But I want people to work on, let's get away from the fact that you like don't drink at all, off the soapbox. But I want people to think on actually working on tolerating stress better, so that you don't have to say, okay, I'm stressed, I'm just going to drink and Band-Aid it, when actually it's going to give you more anxiety when you drink. As soon as that alcohol is out of your system, you're going to wake up with crazy anxiety. So when you strength train, or when you go on a walk or do cardio or these things, you put your body under intentional stress, so you can learn how to deal with stressful situations better. So that's one thing that's why I advocate, strength training so much, especially as you age, because life gets lifey and things come up. And that's when we're talking about, when we have our worst days, we go to the gym and we're like, wow, we feel so much better after that, because it's intentional stress.
Yeah. And so to piggyback on that, the two biggest benefits to exercise that are completely overlooked, it's not a six-pack abs or a better butt. It's stress tolerance, developing your stress tolerance, and the discipline to do what you say you're going to do.
Yes.
Yeah. There is no version of life where you develop your tolerance to stress and you develop your discipline to follow through with your word, that life gets worse. Like, there's no version where your life gets worse if you develop those two things. It is an automatic, guaranteed path to have a better experience in every other area of your life when you develop your stress tolerance and your discipline to follow through with your word.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impossible not to get better in your life if you do those two things.
Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, and I know you guys probably or maybe still do follow Andy Frisella and Ed Milet and stuff like that, but it's always about that self-induced stress. It's like, if today's too comfortable, like going to the gym, like something's, you have to intentionally put something in that path that you can control the variables to an extent that causes you discomfort, because you're going to get punched in the face probably today. If not today, it's probably tomorrow. And if it doesn't happen pretty soon, it's going to really punch you in the mouth. You know how life can be. It's so abusive. And if you don't put yourself in those self-induced stressful moments of being uncomfortable day in and day out, then there's just a minor pothole in the road, a speed bump just completely derails you. And it's like when everybody drinks and does what they do to cope, it's like when you really reverse engineer, it really comes down to planning and prepping, just like the meal planning and prepping. Yeah, it's interesting that approach, and you do hear that a lot. But I always think like, what are you trying to get out there that you don't know how to get out there when you hide behind like I do this and I do that because and then making it a joke. I'm in real estate. I do a lot of production. I drink a lot. So I'm always like, what do you really want to say?
Yeah, and that's what I believe is by default happening. We are developing more capable and confident human beings. It's what's happening. And not capable and confident because you produced X amount of revenue. Because there's some people in this industry that are titans on the finances, and everyone has their own different financial situation. But the human being, like when you walk in your team meeting, when you step on that stage, when you walk through adversity, when you got to go to the hospital because a family member's down and out, like when real life stuff shows up, how capable and confident are you there? Because in that moment, how much revenue you produced isn't what's going to give you confidence. In the sense where you could be insurance for a family member who needs finances to survive, yes, for sure. Finances are obviously important, but how are you going to handle that mentally, emotionally, and physically? That's what I'm talking about when I talk about being capable and being confident. And are you going to have to mask it with an external substance to create a false confidence? Or are you going to be able to face it and look in the mirror and really deal with the external circumstances that you don't have control over and be able to respond appropriately instead of react and crumble under pressure? And the only reason I say it, I mean, dude, our family's been going through it, but I've never seen my family rally together stronger than I have the past 8 weeks. I mean, in 8 weeks, I've learned more about life than I've learned in the past 8 years, right? With my sister literally battling heart failure. And the way that my father has shown up for her, the way my wife has shown up. I mean, I'm blown away, impressed by my wife. I am, because this like heart condition, something my father and my sister and my whole family have dealt with because she was born with it. She had 27 heart surgeries, but this next one, 28, is going to be the biggest one. And so Shannan, this is her first experience with one of these, like in my family. And she is so capable and confident and zero hesitation. And what do you need? Like pure class, not crumbling under pressure, just very impressed. And I'm not saying this to say we're better or worse than anyone else. We're not immune. No one's exempt. Life's going to kick us in the teeth sometimes, but it's how we're going to respond in those moments. And that's the biggest part of making your physical health and wellness a top priority. It's as crazy as it sounds. It'll completely shift your identity when life does what life does, right?
I think it's interesting. Thank you. I love you so much. But I think it's interesting because we coach so many coaches, and they're like, what you're doing in this time, I'm learning how to coach other people from that. And not saying that we're, better than anybody else, but we have to be there. We have this is the one thing I see, because we have all these things coming at us. We could shut down. We could be like, I'm not doing check-ins. Your problems aren't that big. No. We bunker down and we do more. We give more during this time, because I feel that's what people need to see is when the craziest things are happening in your life, you don't hide, you don't shut down. That's when you give the most and you show the most, so that you can show people this is how you can get out of this situation or this feeling or this day or this, it's the winter. People get super depressed in the winter, and we have something going on in our family. The holidays are hard for people. So we're showing like right now, this is what you can do to help yourself. You can sit in that feeling for a minute, but let's snap out of it and let's say, what do I have to do in this moment to get better? Because the longer you sit in it, the worse it's going to get.
Yeah. Bottom line, fight or flight. Real.
Yeah.
Fight or flight is a survival mechanism. And are you choosing flight every time something doesn't go your way? That's the question. And fight or flight can be in the small moments, like, little stuff.
Little
or
stuff.
it can be with the big moments like the life or death stuff. And we've chosen our fight response is ready. And we're ready to do what it takes and what's required and what the next necessary step is to ensure that my sister has the best possible chance, that our clients have the best possible chance of success, and that our community knows they can rely on us. And it doesn't matter through the storm. We're going to continue to be a lighthouse. And I hope that other leaders get inspiration from this, because through our arguably greatest challenges my family's ever faced, ever, we've also done some of our greatest work ever. And there can be dualities in life where both the greatest of the great and the worst of the worst can be simultaneously real and present in your life. And I think that if we're unwilling to accept the dualities of life, it's going to be real easy to crumble. And our disciplines and standards around our health and fitness has allowed us to stay stable mentally, emotionally, and physically through the storm. And it's like an anchor that keeps you steadfast so you don't get swept out to sea.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to drown if they're not prepared emotionally.
Well, and also too, like that fight or flight, you're not always going to have the opportunity to leave that situation, that hurdle. Like, there's going to be a crossroad where you're going to be like, man, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. And it's like, nope, you're boxed in. You have to face this head on. And we've all been there. If we haven't been there, we're going to be there. Like, it's just like, like Christmas. Like, Christmas is great. Christmas holidays. But as a child, it's a fantasy. Then you get to provide that fantasy for your children.
Yeah.
And then if you live long enough, you're going to be that person that faces the cold, dark holidays. Like, you're like, damn, I never knew this was a thing. Like, this is depressing, right? So you're not always going to have that opportunity to fly the coop, to run from it, right? So you nailed it with that. And look, the greatest coaches in the world and on every playing field always have great coaches around them, right? They have the greatest coaches around them that lift them up and elevate them to another level. Very, very, very insightful. Very, very insightful. Man, this is a good one. It's a good one.
That's one, and I think it's so deep and true for our avatar. Those 35 to 55-year-old married couples and parents who are big business leaders, because they're at that point in life where they're going to have a lot of those things you can't escape.
Yeah. The only way out is through. You got to go through.
Right? Like, once you get in later stages of life and you got other people depending on you, it's different when you're in a position of leadership. Like, I love that you said that, because there are some where you don't get to choose flight. You can either fight or you can just crumble. Yeah, sometimes there's no escaping.
We don't get to choose it.
There is no escaping right now what's happening. So we're getting up and fighting and putting our best foot forward every day. And so I love that you put it in that perspective, because I don't say this to say we're better than anyone else. I say this to have empathy and understanding for someone else who might feel like they're getting their teeth kicked in right now. But it's time for you to rise up. That's what you signed up for when you chose to be husband or wife. That's what you signed up for when you chose to be mother or father. That's what you signed up for when you chose to be a business leader. And so just taking ownership in that role as a leader, and that means in every area of your life, your mental, emotional, physical, financial, all the above, like, you got to choose to rise up. And that's been the biggest blessing in our life. And sharing that with you and all of our clients, it's been very special, because not only have we built closer relationships with all of you, but people have unpacked some things that they felt vulnerable enough and comfortable enough to share with us, that we've been able to help walk through with them, where maybe if we didn't have that human to human connection, we're like, oh, life's kicking you in the teeth too, we might not have had those constructive conversations. And so being an open book through it has not been a woe is me. It's been a very beautiful opportunity for us to build relationships and also serve other people who may be going through their twists and turns right now as well.
Yeah.
We got to find where the bomb button, like the Bradley bomb, we got to find where that bomb button is on there. We could have been dropping bombs for the last
Shane Kilby with
another one.
with buttons.
Yeah, I mean, there's no growth in comfort, So if you're and I've said this before, and we heard someone else say it recently. If you're not growing, you're dying. You got to grow. And whether sometimes it's not the best situation that forces that growth upon you, but I always believe the same thing is going to be thrown at you a million times till you change your reaction to it, until you grow from it. You're never going to get past that same obstacle. It's going to keep showing up until you change your response to that, because that's what you can control, is how you respond to things and what you do with it. So, and through the years, not necessarily only in this coaching space that we're in right now, but in other coaching spaces, that's how you see these people go on to have these completely transformative lives, is because they've tried a program 1,000 times. They tried a different program. And instead of just saying the same things, doing it and not sticking to it for long enough, or it doesn't work, or things like that, because it goes with everything in your life. I'm going to stick to one thing finally for long term, because we focus on changing habits as the human, and not like, we call ourselves strategists. Like, it's not like we're just coaches. We're going to make a strategy for you to actually make this fit into your busy life and like all the things that you have, because everybody's so dynamic. And, going through that, it's making those changes long term. And now we've made different choices this time so that it sticks and that we can grow from it. So,
yeah. And so 2 parts. I'm going to piggyback on that one saying that I love. If life just got harder, congratulations, you just leveled up. That's one. And 2 is showing up in the storm with the people in the trenches, going to bat side by side. We've realized it's not us against the client, it's us and the client against the obstacle.
yes.
And we've taken initiative and made it a priority to talk with our clients every single day. It is a non-negotiable requirement to be in our coaching program, to onboard, is that you text us every single day. And the beauty of that is we're in the hospital while my sister's in heart surgery, and we're texting and taking calls. It is every day. We are in the trenches with you, going through life with you. And when the crisis shows up, that's when people need that pattern interrupt. And a lot of people will recluse and hide away and try to sweep their problems under the rug. And that daily conversation has become a mirror that, like you said, Shane, there's no escaping. So like the purpose of the program and the purpose of the daily check-in is that you chose a mirror to look in every day now. And so instead of like being able to sweep things under the rug, because some problems you can fight from, Shane, some of them you can for years until you can't.
Yep.
But what we've done is we've taken what you've said and we've created it by design where they can't escape it. And the beautiful part of that is when you face it, that's when you can grow through it.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, no, like, I know you guys are going through a lot. I didn't know if I should send my check. And I said, you better send it right now. You better send
Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Christmas Day? Christmas Eve? Where's your check-in?
So if our eyes are open, we're responding.
Yeah.
So now on raising that bar and what you do for your clients and those around you, like, maybe segue into this a little bit. Maybe you want to talk about it, maybe you don't. But like you just issued like another level of like challenge to your clients as well, right? Like just a couple days ago or a day ago, or starting soon.
Yeah, cheplakchallenge.com.
cheplakchallenge.com.
Yeah. Now so you go there.
If we got a few minutes. I know you have another call. We probably got some clients.
I appreciate you. I just want to give you guys the location, but I do appreciate you mentioning that. So what's going to happen is January 6th through March 31st, we're hosting our next 12 weeks transformation challenge with a $12,000 cash prize to one winner. $12,000 cash. Our last winner, Nick, signed up and thought that he was going to lose 10 pounds. He lost about 30 and said, wow, I'm happy you guys didn't let me stop at 10. So Nick Hildebrand won $12,000. I still remember that phone call. And I called him and he cried and we laughed. And this 40-year-old father and husband accomplished something he didn't think he had accomplished. And it wasn't the money. It was that he became the best version of himself in his 40s that he never thought was possible. And he's a super genuine dude. So we shared a couple tears together. I'm going to call one of you on April 3rd, 3 days after the challenge, and say, congratulations, you just won $12,000. Yeah. And we might cry a little too on that call. It's and then collectively, if the $12,000 doesn't motivate you, the group lost 413 pounds combined body weight in 12 weeks.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And by
People
the way,
got-
that 413, right? That 413 pounds of body weight that people lost. You're also doing strength training. So, I mean, they're losing, right? So you're losing fat and replacing it with muscle,
Building muscle.
and still melted off 413, while
Yeah.
who knows how many pounds of muscle was added in addition.
So just the participants lost combined 413 pounds. Households lost more than that. So like just coaching the husband texted me and said, I lost 30 pounds, but my family and kids lost a combined 200 pounds. That's just one of the families.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like thousands of pounds
Yeah.
potentially
In
were
reality,
lost
yeah.
because just the people paying lost 413.
Mhm.
The spouses,
And
the
again,
children.
not alone the extended lifespan. Again, like the years they
One of our
come up.
clients, Sharon, just got her CT scan or a CT update, and the doctor said your liver's back to normal in your 50s. What'd you do? She quit drinking alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
We had clients with 11A1C who are now down to 5A1C. If you don't know, 11A1C is life-threatening. We have people getting sober. We have people changing healthier habits in the household. I mean, it's been a beautiful thing. But check out the website, cheplakchallenge.com. You can schedule a free call with no obligation to buy. You don't need to sign up.
I mean, literally, it's my favorite thing because I'm like, just to get you to do this, I will give you $12,000 to do it for 12 weeks.
We believe
and
in
then
it
you
so
create the
much.
habits.
At
Regardless.
the bare minimum, they have to follow you guys. Like, I know we don't have time, but I still Alec's guilty pleasure of cereal.
Protein.
And adding protein milk to it. And now I'm like, oh, okay.
Ready
I
to
got a
go.
little guilty pleasure with protein milk.
I do it too.
Yeah.
Like I want a snack. It's protein cereal. It's great.
Yeah. So if you're anything like me, maybe some of you are crazy people like me and you want to go all in, jump in the challenge. And if you just want to test the waters, get a taste of what we're about, find us on Facebook. We give all our best stuff away for free.
Absolutely.
So we super appreciate both of you. Thanks for having us here today.
Love it.
Yeah, so I know you guys got to hop on another call. So how can everybody, besides the Cheplak Challenge, where can everybody find you guys or connect with you guys?
Facebook's the spot. ALEC, first name, last name, CHEPLAK.
And mine is Shannon, SHANNON, and it's Lynn, LYN. But also, because it's a really common name, you can go on his page and find me.
I tag her on mine.
Yeah,
so
he
you
tags
find me,
on
you find
everything.
both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Facebook won't let me change my last name to Cheplak, so you'll have to find me on his page.
So, yeah, we super appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. It's been another outstanding hour. We could go on for hours. I know you guys have to go.
Yeah, we didn't even get into macros and strength training and going right to the point of failure, all the different things that, the tips. There's not really any tricks, right? It's all tips, right? There's no trick. It's doing the work.
We just give you action steps. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want practical action steps, literally just go on Facebook and we'll literally tell you exactly what to do to get.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. Each of those topics could be its own hour, just so you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Facebook Live today on lifestyle change.
Yeah.
So. We'll have to do a follow up to this. We'll have to do another call, another podcast to follow up to this.
Love it.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Absolutely, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for being here. And the value, the value from this hour alone, is 10x, 100x, right? I'm just thankful and humble to have you guys here today. Thanks so much. Appreciate you guys. And that's a wrap.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the R.E.A.L Podcast. Don't forget to connect with us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more exclusive content. Keep striving for success, and we'll see you in the next episode.